Good morning, students. Uh, Welcome to the another class of chemistry. Okay, in the last chapter, in the last period, we have studied about we have discussed the question answers of the first chapter, that is chemical reactions and equations. Okay, so today we are going to discuss another chapter, that is acid, bases, and salts. Okay, acid, bases, and salts. So in this chapter, there are many things, new things that we are going to discuss. Already we have seen that how to make the chemical reactions, how to balance them. So that knowledge of first chapter, it's going to be very handy in this chapter. Okay, so see, before going to start this chapter, let us recapitulate the um, the previous chapter a little bit. Okay, so that we will not have any problem. Okay, so see, we are all surrounded by acids and bases in our surrounding. We are all surrounded actually, in your kitchen, in your households, at many places we are coming across these acids and bases at many times. But most of those acids and bases, they are weak. Okay, actually, no, what is the meaning of weak? Okay, what is meaning of weak? Actually, you will say, sir, you already heard about acids are so dangerous, and then if I'm saying that they are all around us, so you will say that we are not getting we are not getting harmed by them. So how? Okay, but actually these acids and bases which we are seeing in the day-to-day life, or we are using in the day-to-day life, they are mostly weak acids. So what are weak means? What is the meaning of weak? That we are going to discuss in this chapter. Okay, in the classification of acids and bases. But before going to see that, before going to discuss that, okay, let us see how, what we have studied in the last chapter, which is going to be very useful in the next chapter. Okay, sorry, see here, chemical reactions. Okay, last chapter was about the chemical reactions. So chemical reactions are associated with a chemical change. Chemical reactions are associated with chemical change. Now these chemical changes are, like ripening of fruits, then burning of fuel. These are all chemical changes. Okay, for example, burning of food. If you see burning of if you see the burning of fuel. Okay, burning of fuel consists of carbon in it. What fuel consists of? Fuel consists of carbon, and when carbon burns in the air, it combines with oxygen to form CO2. This is nothing but a chemical reactions. Now if you see this reaction of you know um, burning food in the body, that is respiration reaction. So what happens? Food burns. Food is nothing but C6 H12. Okay, let me write it properly. Okay, C6 H12O6 plus what? O2. It gives energy along with CO2 and H2. What is this? This is a chemical reaction. So the chemical reactions are associated with chemical change. So whenever chemical change takes place, the chemical reaction happens. Okay, so this is just an examples or few examples where the chemical change which is associated with chemical reaction. So whenever chemical reaction change takes place, chemical reaction is involved in that. Okay, so that's what is mentioned in the second point, that whenever chemical change occurs, whenever chemical change occur, the chemical reaction takes place. Okay, chemical reaction take place during the photosynthesis also. If you take an example of photosynthesis, so during photosynthesis also, what happens? CO2 combines with H2O. Okay, this is the reactant, and after combination it forms the food, that is in the form of starch. Along with that food, there is a not H2O, O2 is formed during this reaction. So this is nothing but chemical reaction. This is nothing but a chemical reaction. So it's a chemical change, and this involves this chemical change, that particular photosynthesis chemical change. This is associated with this particular reaction. So that's what is mentioned here. Whenever a chemical change occurs, chemical reaction said to take place. Okay, now chemical reactions are usually irreversible in the sense we can't go back go back. For example, A is converted into B. Okay, A is converted into B, so B cannot be converted back into A, so that is a irreversibility. Okay, that is the characteristic that chemical changes generally usually means most of the time they are irreversible, they can't be reversed back, and new product is formed. So this is about the few things that we have studied in the last chapter. Okay, now see signs of the chemical reaction. Signs of chemical reaction. Now signs of chemical reaction means, now whenever chemical change take place, what actually happens? Okay, how do we identify that whether the chemical reaction taken place or not? So that also we have studied in the last chapter, that change in color take place. Okay, evolution of gas, change in temperature, change in state of substance. Okay, so if the solid substance is there, that in the product, when product forms, that may be liquid or gas. Okay, so this is the change in state. Now when temperature, if you see temperature also, in some cases temperature also increases or decreases. Okay, in some cases you see that oxygen gas or CO2 gas or hydrogen gas, there are many different gases, they are formed. Change in color also take place. Okay, a reactant has different color, product is getting into different color. So these are the signs of chemical reactions. Okay, so so these are the main 4 to 5 signs of chemical reaction. Formation of precipitate. Okay, this is another change. So this is about the last chapter that we have studied about that chapter. Okay, that's main idea of the chapter. Okay, now see, if you talk about the acids and bases, a basic thing that we can tell about the acids and what are acids and bases. So you can see here, if you see what are acids, if you see what are acids, so acids are the substances or the chemicals that releases H plus ions, Now if you say the acids or the substances which releases H plus ions in the aqueous solution, in which solution? Aqueous solution. Aqueous, you already have understood that what is the meaning of aqueous in the previous chapter. But aqueous means solution made in the water. When solution of any chemical is made in the water, that is called as aqueous solution. Okay, on the other hand, now you just talk about these acids in details. Okay, a primary definition we are going to study. Okay, later on we are going to study further. Okay, so basically what is acid? So it's a substance that releases H plus ions in the aqueous solution. Now what does it mean? You'll wonder that what does it mean. For example, now H plus can be written as H plus like this. Okay, so as it is having plus charge, it is cation, right? It is cation. So this cation is formed. If any substance that forms this H plus as a cation, then that substance is said to be acid. Now I'll give you an example to understand that. Okay, for example, we have this compound HCl. What is the name of this compound? Hydrochloric acid. Or we have another compound H2SO4. What is the name of this compound? Sulfuric acid. Okay, why do we call it acid? The reason is that when this acid is added to water, when water is added to it, you know what happens? When water is added to it, it gives rise to H plus Cl minus ions. Now as this forms this H plus ions are formed, and as this form H plus ions, this can be considered as an acid. Okay, so let us take another example, okay, of this one, of another acid, that is sulfuric acid. Okay, now whenever this sulfuric acid is added to water, when I mix some water in this acid, it furnish H plus SO4 2 minus ions. Now what is formed here as one ion? H plus is formed here, right? As H plus ions are formed, This compound, that is H2SO4 sulfuric acid, can be also regarded as acid. I'll give one more example. For example, you have HNO3, HNO3. Okay, if I add water in it, that means if you take an aqueous solution, water is added means aqueous solution of any acid. Okay, what aqueous solution is taken, aqueous solution if you take, it will also release H plus NO3 minus ions. NO3 we forget, but what we are interested in, H plus ions are formed. If it forms the H plus ions, that means it is acid. Okay, that means it is acid. Now one more example we can take here, H2CO3. This is a carbonic acid. This is the example of carbonic acid. Again, if you take an aqueous solution of this, it will also form H plus and CO3 minus ions. What does it mean? Again here H plus is formed. It means this can be also labeled as acid. So in all these four examples, if you see all those four examples, like HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, H2CO3, these are all acids, mineral acids. Okay, what are mineral acids we will study later on, but all these acids example we have seen, and in all those examples we have seen that this also produces H plus ion, this also produces H plus ion, this also produces H plus ion, and this also produces H plus ions. So all those compounds gives rise to these H plus ions. It means that these all compounds are acids. These all compounds are acids. Okay, so basically a simple definition we can talk about, that an acid is a substance which gives H plus ions in an aqueous solution. What happens? It produces H plus ions in aqueous solution, and that's why they are all considered as acids. This is a basic idea behind the being acid. So let us go to the another compounds which are exactly opposite of the acids, and they are as base. Okay, they are the bases. Now if you see the base, what is the definition of base? The substance that release OH minus ions in the aqueous solution. Again, acids were producing H plus ions. Now what bases are producing in aqueous solution? OH minus ions. Now I'll give you a few examples to understand this basis. So first example is NaOH. Now if you take an aqueous solution of this, if you take aqueous solution of NaOH, aqueous means again solution in water. If you add some water in this NaOH, NaOH is what? NaOH is called sodium hydroxide. NaOH का क्या नाम है? Sodium hydroxide. Now this sodium hydroxide, when added to water, it will release Na plus OH minus. What is formed here? OH minus is formed here. So any substance that produces OH minus ions in the aqueous solution, such substances are called as bases. Now another example of base I will take, KOH. Now what is the meaning of KOH? What do you call it? Potassium hydroxide. K for potassium, OH for hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide, again taken in the aqueous solution, it will also form K plus and OH minus. What is formed here basically? It also formed OH minus ions. So in both the cases we have seen that the OH minus ions are formed, that's why both are considered as base. One more example we'll take, MgOH twice, magnesium hydroxide. What is the name of this compound? Magnesium hydroxide. If you take this in the water, in the aqueous solution, it will also form Mg2 plus OH minus. What is formed here again? OH is formed again. OH minus is formed. It means that this MgOH twice is also an acid. You got it? So a definition of these acids and bases is a very simple, that acids are the substances which produces H plus ions in the aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means solution made in the water. So any compound, any chemical compound, if you take and if you dissolve in the water, if it furnishes H plus ions, then it will be called as acid. If any compound, if you add in the water and if it furnishes OH minus ions, it will be called as base. Now third point of this chapter heading is salts. Is salt. Now what do you mean by salt? Salts क्या होते हैं? Now see, compound that is formed by neutralization reaction between the acids and bases. Acid or base के बीच में whenever neutralization reaction takes place. Now you will say, sir, what is the neutralization means? Now neutralization is very simple. We say that we are not from this side also, we are not from this side also, we are neutral. What does it mean? Neither acid nor base. Okay, neither acid nor base. The compound formed in this reaction between the acids and base doesn't remain acid also and does not remain base also. So the reaction between acid and base is called as neutralization reaction. This is one of the type of reaction. In the first chapter we have seen few types of reactions. One of these reaction type is neutralization reaction. So what is the meaning of neutralization reaction? We have already studied from the chapter or in the 7th standard somewhere, that neutralization in the day-to-day life. So when we suffer from acidity, I gave you example at that time also. When we suffer from acidity, we take ENO, right? In stomach, hydrochloric acid is secreted in a large quantity. We feel burning sensation, and to cure that, we either antacid tablets which are taken, okay, or ENO is also a medicine for this. Okay, so ENO is consist of base. What is formed in the stomach? Acid. So when we take ENO react with acid present in the stomach, neutralizes that acid and forms a neutral product, and then you feel your pain is relieved. Okay, so that is neutralization in the day-to-day life. So this is one of the example which I gave you. Okay, but here we'll see the chemical reaction to form the salts. Now as I told you that acids and bases के बीच में जो reaction होती है उसके बाद क्या बनता है? Salt बनता है. Let us form one salt example, NaCl. Let us see how this NaCl is formed. For example, I have HCl. What is the HCl means? Hydrochloric acid. HCl means hydrochloric acid. Now these hydrochloric acid when added to a base, ये तो हो गया acid. अभी तो हमको दूसरा रिएक्टेंट क्या चाहिए? बेस चाहिए. उस रिएक्टेंट में मैंने डाला है NaOH. क्या डाला? NaOH. So HCl is reacting. Whenever HCl is added to NaOH, the reaction product is neutral. The chemical change takes place obviously, but the product of this reaction is entirely neutral. And what is that? See here, what is here in this reaction? This is H plus. Let me change the paint so that you can here H plus and Cl minus, here Na plus and OH minus ions. Okay, H plus and OH minus. Now this H plus can react with OH, and this Cl minus जो है वो किसके साथ react होगा? Na plus. Positive will not react with the positive, so opposite will attract. So here these H plus ions will react with OH minus this Cl minus will attach with Na plus. So opposite attracts, you know that the same rule will is applicable here, because these are all ionic compounds. And now just we have to write the product here. So H plus OH, it will form H2O, correct? And another product will be Na plus Cl. So the product will be NaCl. What is it? NaCl. Sodium chloride. What is sodium chloride? Your table salt, kitchen salt, which is used in the kitchen. Okay, none of the food item is prepared without this NaCl. A neutral product, and this neutral product is considered as salt. Now this salt, it doesn't mean that there is only one salt. This is NaCl, and as I told you that this is used in the kitchen, it doesn't mean that there is only one salt. All those compounds formed by any acid and any base combination, whenever any acid combines with any base, whatever product is formed, that product is neutral, and that neutral product is salt. Okay, I'll give you an example here. I hope this example is clear. Another example we'll take. See, I have an acid, that H2SO4. What is the acid? H2SO4. What is the name of this acid? Name of this acid is sulfuric acid. Now I don't have enough space, so I'm just writing the formula H2SO4. Okay, so in this H2SO4, if I add KOH, what is the KOH? Potassium hydroxide. Now you know how to name them. Okay, so you should know that what is K stands for, what is OH stands for. Okay, these are all ions, and these are all ionic compounds, so you should know that how to name them, how to write the formulas of these compounds. So H2SO4, when mixed with KOH, this is acid, this is base, right? So acid and base is mixed together. So let us see how the reaction will take place. Now see, here we have H plus, here we have H plus and SO4 2 minus. Here we have K plus. How this KOH is formed? K plus and OH minus, correct? So again, as I told you earlier, H plus from here will be attracted by H plus from here will be attracted by KOH, and K plus will be attracted by SO4 2 minus, because opposite attracts, as the same rule applicable here. And the product formed will be, you can see here the product. Okay, the product I'm going to write here, the same H2O, and the another product will be K2SO4. So these K2SO4 and H2O will be a neutral product, and this K2SO4 can be also called as salt. Now you understand, this is the product formed by acids and base reaction. So this is a salt. Salt does not mean the only kitchen salt. It doesn't mean that NaCl is the only salt that we can have. The salts is a very broad term used for the products of acid base reaction product. न्यूट्रलाइजेशन का रिएक्शन का कोई भी प्रोडक्ट जो है is called as salts. The product of any neutralization reaction can be called as salt. So salts, there are varieties of salts. We are going to discuss from this chapter. Varieties of salts are there. Varieties of salts. Salts also have further classification. Okay, on the basis of different concepts, we can classify the salts also in different categories. So these are the salts. So what are the salts? The salts are the compound that are formed by neutralization reaction between the acids and base. Okay, example is NaCl. Just now we have formed K2SO4. So these are all. Then KCl. Okay, many different salts can be there. Okay, then MgSO4. Okay, MgSO4. These are all salts formed by. Now if you see MgSO4, how this MgSO4 formed? MgSO4 जो है वो कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ एसिड एंड बेस से बना हुआ है. नाउ कैन यू टेल मी व्हाट आर द एसिड एंड व्हाट आर द बेस यूज फॉर मेकिंग दिस. तो उसके लिए MgOH ट्वाइस मैग्नीशियम हाइड्रोक्साइड बेस यूज़ किया है और H2SO4 एसिड यूज़ किया है. तो ये जो KCl है, विच एसिड एंड विच बेस इज यूज इन मेकिंग दिस. तो KOH इज द बेस एंड HCl इज द एसिड used to form these particular salts. So this is about the definition of acids, base and salts. Now you'll wonder that every compound which has OH will be called an acid. So no, there are some compounds, particularly organic compounds, carbon compounds. In carbon compounds, last year we have seen that there are two types of compounds: ionic compounds and covalent compounds. Remember, so ionic compounds mein we form H plus Cl minus, okay, OH minus. These type of ions are formed in ionic compounds, but in covalent compounds these type of ions are not formed. Now for example, here one example is given here: CH3OH. CH3OH. Now here also OH is there, so can we call it an base? No, this is not a base. This is a neutral substance because this CH is attached to OH by a covalent bond. By which bond? Covalent bond. So if you add this CH3OH, that is methanol, name of this compound is methanol. If you add this methanol to the water, it will dissolve but it will not furnish OH minus ions. यहाँ पर OH minus ions बनेंगे क्या? नहीं बनेंगे. And if it is not forming OH minus ions, this means that it is not a base. It is not a base. Another example of compound I will give you: C6H12O6. This is a example of glucose molecule. This is which molecule? Glucose molecule. Now if it is a glucose molecule, this glucose molecule will not be called as acid because here you will say, sir, it is having H plus ion or it is having hydrogen in it, so will it also be called as acid? So no, it's not a acid. It's not acid. Reason is that when you add glucose in the water, it dissolves but it does not produce H plus. It does not produce H plus, and it is, as it does not produce H plus, it does not produce H plus, it means that this cannot be called as acid. What is the definition? If you remember, the substances which produces H plus ions in the aqueous solution, I've added H2 in this glucose, but glucose में H2 डालने के बाद H plus produce हुआ क्या? नहीं. H plus ion is not produced, it means that it is not acid. It can be called as compound. It's a neutral compound. It is compound, chemical compound only, but not an acid or not a previous CH3OH is not a base, though it is having. Reason क्या है? Why is it so? Because they are formed by covalent bonds, and covalent compound doesn't release ions, and that's why they are called as neutral compounds, or they are not be categorized into acid or bases categories. Okay, so this is about the acids, bases and salts, definitions of acid, base and salts. So now one more thing is there here, that on the basis of test, okay, now this is the chemical definition. Now on the basis of chemistry or internal structure, if you see, this is how the acid, bases and salts can be defined. But one more very basic thing I'm going to tell you, that how to identify acid, bases and salts. So acids, generally acids जो है वो होते हैं sour. What is the taste of acid? Generally acids are sour in taste. Acids are sour in taste, and bases are bitter in taste. जो acids होते हैं, now generally in the day-to-day life, as I told you, we are all surrounded by acid, bases and salts. So I will give you an example. Today only you just try to test it at home from household material. If you have a curd in your house or home, take some curd and just test it. Okay, so you'll find that the taste of that curd is sour. Do you think that milk is sour? No, milk is not sour. Milk is having some sugar in it, that is sugar called lactose sugar. But when curdling takes place, when the curdling process takes place, when the milk is converted into curd, after that process the lactose sugar present in the milk is converted into lactic acid. So because of the formation of acid and the bacteria which carry out these chemical changes, lactobacillus bacteria, lactobacillus bacteria. So these bacteria convert the lactose sugar into lactic acid, and that's why you taste this, you find the taste sour. Tamarind, you can take tamarind from your day-to-day life. Now this is the season of tamarind, so you can just take some tamarind and just taste it. You'll find it sour, khatta. In Hindi we call it khatta. So tamarind is also having tartaric acid. Which acid? Tartaric acid. Take some lemon. Nowadays we are making nimbu pani, lemonade at home. So what is the taste of that lemonade? It's a sour taste. Reason? Because there is a citric acid present in the lemon. Okay, so acids generally are sour in taste. But now, as I told you, that acid which we are using the day-to-day life, they are all weak acids. Okay, except few like which are used in the cleaners, household cleaners which are using, they should not be tasted by the tongue. Okay, only those who are organic acid, they can be tasted by tongue, which are present in the plants and animals. These acids can be tasted by tongue. Do not try to taste the acids which are called mineral acids or which are present in the household cleaners. Don't taste these acids. Okay, for testing these mineral acids, we have another method. We have some indicators. What are indicators? We'll study that in the further coming lectures. But those acids which are present in the organic material, that is plants or animals, that only can be tested by us, by the tongue. Now, what are the bases? What is the taste of base? As I told you, taste of bases are bitter. Bitter in the sense kadvi. Okay. Now, if you see bitter gourd, no one likes bitter gourd, I know, but the reason is that it's so bitter, kadwa hota hai, okay, and because of that bitterness, we do not like it. So base is present in the bitter gourd. Okay, so because of that, ENO. Okay, what is there in the ENO? ENO is also having a base in it. So because of that, these few things, they taste bitter. So here, this is that by using taste we can identify these acids and bases, but only about the organic substances I'm talking about. Mineral acids and bases cannot be checked like that personally by yourself. Okay, for that we require the indicators. In the laboratories we have some indicators that can be used to test these acids and bases, but not by our tongue. Okay, it can damage our tongue. Now salts. Third is salts. Now what is the taste of salt? Taste of salt varies. Now our kitchen salt taste very salty. There are different tastes to the salts. Okay, it's not a specific. Salts doesn't have a specific, like acids have sour taste, bases have bitter taste. Similarly, salts doesn't have a specific taste. The taste varies from salts to salts. Okay, so these are the basic things that we have studied, that definitions of acid, bases and salts. I hope these definitions are clear. We'll stop here. We'll study in the next period.